Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology. Once again, I'm Vanita Lenka, I'm a Vedic astrologer, and today I'm going to be discussing an important transit. I hope you can hear me. First of all, tell me that because this is a live session, and I have Ashwin here again. We are discussing Sun's ingress. Hi, Ashwin, welcome back. And
Thank
we are
you.
going to be discussing Sun's ingress in Scorpio sign, which happens from the 16th November all the way till the December 16th. So, what exactly is the theme like globally? How is it going to be impacting the significance of solar ingress chart every month? Sankranti happens, so it's a Vrishika Sankranti. We have new moon, full moon. So all that we will be sharing with you initially, and how is it going to be impacting India? Because we are going to be putting up the India's chart when Sun ingresses in the Scorpio sign. So these will be the themes, and then the Nakshatra transits. That is Vishakha, Anuradha, and Jyeshtha. It is going to be in Gandanta towards the end of the transit, that is 15th, 16th, 17th of December. Lots in store because there will be planets in trine to the Sun also. Thankfully, it is coming out of its sign of debility, but it is going to be in trine to Shani again, and forming a connection with Saturn. So here, there is a lot of, I would say, too many things happening. So when there is too many things and too many retrogrades, so definitely something we have to experience as regards to authorities, leadership, uprising and all that, can happen. So I don't want to say all that. I don't want to go there. But yeah, I will be sharing the screen, the chart. So Ashwin, should we start? Welcome again, first of all.
Good to be back.
Yes. And how are you doing? How was your prediction last month? Didn't it go well? Whatever happened, you had mentioned.
Yeah, I think it happened towards the end,
Yes.
which is so unfortunate.
Yeah, it is
Um,
unfortunate though. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, and
And the problem is that we don't even get to know where the, uh, whatever the mishaps are happening, where they are happening. That's what we have to crack. Exact location.
I think there are tools to do that, but it's just that it's a separate area. It's called astrocartography, and I don't
Yes.
have my own expertise with that. So, but I think Sun in Scorpio is itself very interesting and a revelatory transit in many ways. Like I was also kind of doing something on my own YouTube, and I was talking about Mars and Mercury, but I think
Hmm.
Sun's ingress itself, like it's joining Mars and Mercury that's just turned retrograde before 5 days. So it's an interesting area the uh, where the deep layers of our emotional apparatus or the intensity or secrecy of whatever is lying hidden in our lives
Hmm.
is going to kind of suddenly come out, and the private matters of our lives and shared resources, because Scorpio is also the natural eighth house, and
Hmm.
some of the deep emotional truths, even though if it is difficult, all those things might come back again, and
Hmm.
especially with Mercury being retrograde, so there is going
Hmm.
to be some difficult memories that are going to be a little uh, rekindled, and but the good thing is that Sun, although it kind of reveals vulnerabilities and challenges in Scorpio, I think it is
Hmm.
important to know that it is a good opportunity to kind of come out of all those challenges and put the transformative experiences into action, because Mars in Scorpio is not this Aries Scorpio where Mars is ready to fight, but Mars in Scorpio is all about, like, knowing when to channelize the energy inward and not necessarily outward. So I think we need to kind of use this transformatory period to a good effect in many ways. So, and it's good to kind of put all those energy internally rather than externally.
I agree. I'm sharing the screen first. There's a small document that I have prepared where with the dates and all, and
Mm.
with that you can, just simply, it will become little easier for you also to, discuss all of that. Okay. So let me share with you guys the screen and show you the meaning and all that is there, So let's see. Yeah. share. Yeah. I hope it is sharing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's happening on the 16th of November till the December 16, 2025. And a big hello to everyone whosoever is right here. And thanks for being here live. And the ones who have any questions, Ashwin can reply, I can reply. In between, we can write or we can just simply say. You can put up after each sign if you have any questions in particular with this transit, related to this transit would be better, but we'll try to respond to all the questions. So Sun, our solar system's life giver, embarks on a transformative journey through the intense and enigmatic sign of Scorpio from November 16th till the December 16th. Let me just, increase the font so that you all can, see it well.
It's already very good.
Sorry?
It's already very good. No issues.
Okay. So it is, this transit marks a period of profound introspection, uncovering hidden truths and embracing personal power also. Scorpio ruled by Mars and Pluto also, it delves into the depths of our subconscious, urging us to confront our own shadows and emerge stronger. And this is something which is going to be giving us a, exploration about the potentials that we have also navigating through this potent period. Sun is going to be conjunct Mercury. So we have all the dates here. You can make a note of this because Mercury is retrograde and so is Jupiter. So it's Saturn till the 28th and then will be coming back. This Mercury will be coming back from the 6th to the 16th December. And they both will be going into the sign of Sagittarius together the very same day. And that is when, we have to check the combustion of Mercury also, which plays out a very important role. And Mercury will be also, Mercury will be entering on the 29th December, the sign of Sagittarius. Sorry about that, because it's still the 16th December when Sun is there. Sun is going to be conjunct Mars. Sun will be trying to Jupiter. Sun will be trying to Saturn. Sun will form a connection with Venus from 26th November to the 16th December in Scorpio sign. Sun will cross the Gandanta zone from the 15th to the 17th of December when it's going to be in the cusp, water and fiery cusp. Rahu is in the first house, Aquarius rising, which we'll be doing that as well. And Scorpio is the water sign associated with transformation, passion, intensity. And this is a transformative fire in the water sign. Global and personal rebirth will begin. And this is also the time for transformative karma unfolding from the 16th Sun in Scorpio, dance with Mars and Mercury and Venus. As we know, it is going to be a transformative introspection. And of course, power dynamics, understanding and navigating relationship and power structures also happen. Hidden truths, uncovering secrets and confronting uncomfortable realities. Emotional depth, experiencing emotions with greater intensity. This transit encourages us to delve beneath the surface and confront the aspects of ourselves and our lives that we may have been avoiding. It's time for healing, regeneration, and claiming our personal power. So this is what is the key theme. And now Ashwin is going to be discussing the global as well as what is going to be happening in India, because we have an Aquarius rising. As you can see, Sun is at 0 degrees the day when it is transiting through on the 16th at 1337, approximately 1337, 1340. It is going to be in the Scorpio sign. It will be transiting through. And that is when, we have Rahu in the first house and Saturn in the second. Jupiter is exalted. Ketu is in the seventh house. And we have Venus and we have Sun, Mercury, Mars combination. And we have full moon, new moon dates also, which we'll be sharing very soon. So meanwhile, Ashwin, please take over. I need a break.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. It was a quick run through of what it is going to be.
Yeah, that's why I had
I'm
made
sure.
a document so that, everybody gets the information also, consolidated one and quick also. Also, one more thing, Sun is going to be transiting through 3 nakshatras, which I missed out on. So Vishakha has already happened from 6th of November. So 6th to the 16th is going to be in the Libra Vishakha, and then from the 6th to the 20th, it's going to be in the from 16th to the 20th for 4 days. It is going to be in the Vishakha Scorpio. Then Anuradha from 20th November to 3rd December, and Jesha 3rd December to 16th December. And I will be running through again after you complete what exactly is there and what does it mean when they are in these nakshatras also, when sun is, and then new moon, full moon dates also I'll give them. Please take over.
All right.
Thank you.
So I think the key thing to notice is that 3 planets are in good dignities. So 6th house, Jupiter is in good dignity. It is exalted in Cancer, at least for the time being, until it enters Gemini. And then Venus is still in Libra, which is another good thing before Venus reaches Scorpio sometime in during the second week of December. And then we have Mars in Anuradha in Scorpio still. So there is a lot of strength in this chart inherently, but there is also a lot of challenges at an administrative level. The reason why I'm saying administrative level challenges is because Sun is placed in the 10th house, which is a good thing. But Sun is going to be in this bending or the square or angles from Rahu and Ketu, which is always a moment of imbalance. And if you see, Mars is going to hit that square zone or the angle from Rahu and Ketu in another 7 degrees. Like Mars is at 14 degrees of Scorpio, and Rahu and Ketu are at 21 degrees of Aquarius and Leo respectively. So this is going to cause a major imbalance within the administrative circle. So naturally criticism is going to be there, but I think the government will be equipped enough to handle all those criticisms. So because of this particular tragedy that's happened in Delhi, I think the entire naturally people will be shocked because there was a lot that was done after Pahalgam tragedy, but something happening again is actually a little bit of a bad thing for the home ministry, and also the defense sector is concerned. So they, within the government, there is a lot of introspection and also critique that is seen from Mars's position in the 10th house. The leader is not happy at all, which means Mr. Modi is not very happy with what has happened, and that too in the capital of the nation. And Mercury here is going to kind of introspect. Mercury here is going to help the government to go back and see what has happened or where the hole was and how things got missed out. Although a lot of very, very bad tragedy that was about to happen was foiled, or it was basically kind of neutralized, still something happened and people lost their lives. And I'm pretty sure the government and the leader are not really happy with what has happened. So Mercury retrograde is an opportunity for the government to review, reassess, and reform a strategy so that something like this does not happen again, because this is a serious security issue that kind of puts people in danger. And the moon that is ruled by the moon signifies people of the country in mundane astrology, and the moon is placed in the 8th house, which means that people in general are burdened and not necessarily happy for some reason. It is not necessarily tied to this reason, but if something like this is happening, I think people will naturally be tensed and also a little worried about how things are moving forward for us as a nation. But that is a very uh, temporary thing, and things will change pretty much. And the Ketu in the 7th house shows that there is a lot of reduction of what is going on against India. The opposing enemies are still kind of, they're a little, the directly opposing enemies are a little worried about India, because India is very strong at this point. So they are not just worried, I think they're also a little afraid. With Ketu there, it puts a lot of thought process. With Ketu in Pura Falguni, apparently their sleep is gone. They're not able to kind of do what they want to do. And imagine from the other side, it's really bad for them, right? So around 2,900 kilograms of explosives caught. So it's a big loss and also a major setback for them. So we are seeing that Mars in the 10th house is the planet of cutting off and also action, and government is going to act. So don't think that it's all happening very slowly or something. There is something big brewing behind the scenes, and that is signified by Mars, Mercury, and Sun is basically indicative of the fact that Mr. Modi is taking over, because Sun is the natural significator of the king, and the king is taking control or taking charge of the situation. And Mars, very strong, also signifies uh, the king. And Saturn trining the Sun, very, very close trine, also shows that there is some kind of a structure. Saturn is the planet of structure, and Pisces is the natural last sign of the zodiac. So Pisces is all about dissolution. So now it's almost like the realities or the structures that existed within the government or the setup is basically crumbling, and therefore there is a real need for revamp and a restructuring of national security in many ways because of what has happened. But the good thing is Jupiter, although it is retrograde, which indicates the sixth house of security forces, is aspecting the second house where Saturn is placed, and also aspects very closely the Sun in the 10th house, uh, basically giving the power and energy for the administration to decisively act and come to a conclusion of how they are going to deal with all these things. It's not going to stop. We know that we don't need to know astrology you know to understand that all these are, it's a risk, but how to mitigate that risk and how to minimize these incidents is what the government will be focusing on. And Rahu in the first house also indicates that the nation altogether is very angry and generally kind of moving towards a phase where they want some kind of a decisive action. I think Mars squaring Rahu will indicate something strong from the governmental perspective. And apart from that, I think Saturn, the economic situation, is eased by Jupiter's aspect, which is from, I mean, Jupiter's aspect to second house not only eases the economic situation, but it also rules Pisces. So it has a double effect for that, which is a good thing. And I think Sun in Vishaka is very important for us as a nation. Vishaka is the strong focus. Vishaka is co-ruled by Indra and Agni. The deities are in Indra Agni. So Indra is basically Indra is praised in the Rig Veda as someone who uh, struck the lightning or the thunder in order to kill a dragon. Indra is the Vrita slayer. So, and Indra basically killed the dragon, which was blocking the waters of, from the mountains to come into the village or the town. And because of the blocking of water, there was a problem in terms of prosperity. So, Sun's entry into Vishaka is basically throwing light on where the problem lies. It is the identification of the problem and also breaking the problem or the barrier so that prosperity can prevail. And Agni is also naturally Agni is symbolic of the sun itself, and Agni has it's basically fire, and Agni has two dimensions. One is flame, and the another one is light. So light comes from the flame. So flame is the inner fire that burns. So the leader of the nation has this inner fire that is constantly burning inside him, who's looking for some kind of a transformation in terms of how to put the nation in a progressive path. And also um, uh, light is basically throwing light on hidden aspects that needs concern or attention by the nation from a holistic perspective. And Venus is stay in the ninth house as long as it stays until the you know depending on Ayanamsha, I think it's
26th November it is going to be transiting
yeah, okay.
Scorpio.
So at least until then we have still 12 more days for us to kind of revamp the foreign policy. I think we will get a lot of traction and praises from across the nations for how we are handling the external pressures. And there is something that is going on behind the scenes as far as the ninth house matters, foreign relations and diplomacy, and also export. Ninth house is all about exports. So I'm pretty sure India is going to find a very useful and a neutralizing strategy to to deal with all these problems. And apparently it looks like the tariffs by the US is slowly coming into, there's going to be some kind of a trade deal between US and India, and I think we can expect that to kind of positively turn, tide towards India's favor in another 12 days before Venus enters Scorpio. It's a very encouraging thing, and it is also very important for the nation as a whole to engage in some kind of prayers or some kind of progressive thoughts for the nation, because ninth house or the strength of the ninth house indicates that our prayers and our thoughts of prosperity will manifest if we do, when the ninth house is strong and active and Venus is in its Mula Trikona in the ninth house, and Swati is the nakshatra of individuality. And India is most certainly still kind of revamping the uh, foreign policy or whatever it is that needs some kind of a shift. And there is going to be some decisive and conclusive individuality that is going to emerge. And there is a lot of chances that Dr. S. Jaishankar will again come back to limelight for all good reasons. So moon, people are a little challenged considering the economic situation, inflation, and job-related problems. But I think slowly moon in Hasta is all about taking shape. Like it's ruled by it's symbolized by hand, and hand is all about trying to give shape to something that doesn't have shape, and it is also ruled by the deity Savita. Savita is the sun god, which also again indicates some kind of throwing light or reflections of the eighth house matters, which could be tax reforms, and also something really good for people to kind of take forward is going on. And I think we will kind of most certainly see towards the budget by the end of February. So overall, it's a reasonable time. It's a time where we need to kind of work very hard. Uh, because the 10th Lord Mars is in the third Lord Mars is also in the 10th house, which indicates effort turning into some kind of a quiet action, because Mars in Scorpio is not quick action, but it is all about quiet transformative action that brings a real good progress. I think that's it from my side.
All right. Thank you so much. So my few cents and quick ones would be that it is an Aquarius rising. As you can see, Sun is in the Scorpio sign in the 10th house, and 10th house is career, public policy, authority. Mercury is retrograde plus Mars is conjunct this Sun. And of course, it will be inching towards Mars also soon. And Mars will be moving forward, I guess, by the time Sun catches up this Mars. So intense communication, possible conflict, clarification, action behind the scenes. Saturn is retrograde, and till the 28th, it is retrograde itself. So it is also about, before to that, I must tell you that when there is a conjunction of Sun and a retrograde Mercury, it brings communication, decision-making, information, government pronouncements into focus. With Mercury retrograde, we can expect delays, revisions, clarifications, coming back to what you said earlier or what was said earlier in Scorpio sign, meaning secretive, deep, transformational communication, and possibly about intelligence, corporate disclosures, hidden finances also. And we do have governments or corporations may revise policies, issue corrections, data leaks, or re-evaluations of previously declared facts. It may trigger a feedback loop. What was announced earlier comes back for revision. As far as individuals are concerned, for people, this is the time to revisit your public message, your career, your speech, educational statements. Avoid launching irreversible communication until you are triple checked. Sun and Mars combination, willpower, leadership moves, and sometimes aggressive or militant energy. So this is going to get intensified, as we all know what has happened, which Ashwin rightly mentioned. This suggests bold actions will be taken. Since Sun was in the debility, now Sun is also gaining power. Okay. So some aggressive policy moves or strategic operations will be coming into force. And some global security operations, deep investigations we can see, because it's a sign of an investigation. Big governmental moves will be done, and in intelligence or covert domains, also risk flashpoints in geopolitics or corporate warfare. As regards to individuals, when Sun and Mars are going to be conjunct together, it is career may demand you to assert yourself. Courage is required, and watch ego, rashness, and conflict. It is going to be in trine to Jupiter, as you all can see, till the 5th of December. And Jupiter is a natural beneficial planet. So expansion, wisdom, higher purpose. Sun is in Scorpio though. So, and Jupiter is retrograde, not to forget, in the water sign. So this can bring about inner expansion, revising big frameworks, philosophies, large institutions undergoing review. Globally or mundane level, we can say institutions of higher learning or religious or charitable organizations, judiciary perhaps will undergo reform. And some large-scale philanthropic or international aid initiatives may pivot or fold back. Since Jupiter is retrograde, the expansion may be internalized or delayed. As far as individuals are concerned, when Jupiter and Sun are forming this kind of a connection, so this could help you reflect on your life purpose, career ethics, bigger picture. It's a 6th house. So don't expect straightforward growth. Rather, a revision of your goals is required. Health, service, debt, work environment under scrutiny. And Rahu is in the 1st house and forming a 4-10 relationship. So identity, public mood, leadership image under strange novel stress. Ketu is in the 7th house, which is 10th from the Sun. So partnership treaties, foreign relations may drift or detach. Saturn is in trine. So this can emphasize responsibility. Hard work will pay off. Structural consolidation will also take place. With Saturn having been retrograde till the 28th of November, it suggests a reset of lessons, decisions now can be made and executed. And in Scorpio, Sun's transit here is paired with Saturn's influence, meaning serious long-term commitments or reforms. Governments or large organizations might finalize legacy reforms and structural policy shifts. Regulatory frameworks will be coming into effect. Possibly something long delayed can get addressed also during this time. So some kind of, I would say, governments may initiate bold, perhaps covert and aggressive policy moves with this kind of a chart that we can see. Also, Venus will be, not to forget, entering from 26th November onwards till the 16th December. So it can also be about aesthetics, diplomacy, value system, art, luxury, but it can give more intense value transformations also, because it's an intense sign of Scorpio. So maybe hidden luxuries or covert social networks. We might see high profile diplomatic social events. Generally, when Sun and Venus are together, I've seen people, in the film industry, glam industry, somebody passes on, or some kind of news is in and around these elite networks, and maybe, something to do with controversies around. Sorry, did you say something? Okay. So arts, antiques, it can be diplomacy with strings attached. Something to do with the financial shifts may take place on the personal level. Partnership, family finances may become very important. Suddenly, relationship dynamics could deepen, but also expose hidden issues. Also, as regards to your economy and value system is concerned, with this kind of a horoscope, 2nd house has Saturn. So this will be the time for revision of national budget, public spending, or value, reform, maybe even asset or wealth classification changes. With the Sun in the Scorpio, a sign of hidden resources, debt, transformation, one could see major announcements on subsidies, taxation, and financial restructuring. Please make a note. These are very important ones. For global markets, perhaps a correction in commodities, especially those linked with hidden value, rare earths, data, crypto, debt instruments. And when Saturn enters Scorpio, market often faces correction. That has been seen from a long time. Watch announcements that shift how the state acts rather than only what it says. As regards to health and service sector, because we have a Jupiter in the 6th house, so this suggests that health services, possibly regulation, labor unrest in medical health sector, they can go on strike or something that can be felt. Combined with Mercury retrograde and Mars, we may see issues in service delivery, logistics, and supply chain disruption also, especially for critical infrastructures, maybe hospitals, IT, power related. Also, Rahu in the 1st and the 7th house, Ketu, this is about, national identities being reassessed. And foreign partnerships may be under pressure. The public may demand change in how India presents itself globally. There could be a diplomatic renegotiation, treaties revisited. And also on the global plane, leaders may come under pressure to prove their credentials or revise alliances. That is what Rahu is the most demanding graha after all. Scorpio always brings up something which is hidden, something which is underworld, underground. The winds change, and the winds of change also. And with Sun and Mars combination, because it is in the Scorpio sign and Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. And this is also not to forget forming in this chart, it is forming a Ruchaka yoga also. Mars is in the 10th house. And with this, one might anticipate revelations about intelligence in agencies, significant security operations, possibly covert escalations of conflict zones, public revelations about espionage or leaks or leaks or intelligence oversight. And also Mercury retrograde with this, Mars and Mercury combination. Generally, I've seen cyber events, data breaches happen, communication infrastructure under stress. 10th house definitely is also emphasizing on corporate or government tech may face scrutiny, legal regulatory framework around data may shift rapidly. And also the water trine is getting active, as you know. 4, 8, 12 houses. And Scorpio is the water in the Kendra 10th house. We have Scorpio signs, so just, and the Ruchaka yoga also. It means emotional commitment underpinning policy, but also potential reactive or crisis-driven governance. In practical terms, policy initiatives may have a rescue flavor, urgent, decisive, may be heavy-handed. Okay, the transition of Jupiter, that is demotion, when it moves into the Gemini sign, shortly after the ingress reinforces, because it's happening on the 5th of December. So this can bring about the ideas which may challenge in big institutions, big ideas. This might imply pressure on educational or religious institutions also. Some institutional, maybe, we'll hear more, that'll be in more news, maybe, So it is a little less comfortable domain of Sun, though it has left its debilitation sign, but we must also see how it is placed. But Sun and Mercury, Mars and Mercury are friendly grahas. Jupiter is also a friend which is looking at this Sun. So this is definitely a transformative period. So expect more serious, less decorative phase during this time period, and a notable turning point around, this, especially when Saturn turns, when Sun is in Gandanta. I forgot to mention, Sun is going to be in Gandanta. So that is when, we will see some kind of turning point, 15th, 16th, and 17th of December. Something has been building, may culminate or shift. And also, there can be some major policy change which can happen, leadership announcement can happen, or market financial pivot. There can be some correction, change, or market can crash also. You never know, sorry to say that, but maybe, some correction will be there, and new direction will emerge on the personal level. Maybe some career, purpose, old ways you have to let go of if you want to, because it's a Gandanta zone when Sun is going to be. And also, this is about new identity, ambition. Rahu is in the 1st house, public image, collective identity shifts. And 7th house Ketu means detachment, past patterns might just be, under review. Also, I wanted to mention about the relationship wise, of course, it is going to bring about assertive communication, as I said, and value dynamics, worth perception in partnership, deep transformation in romantic or business alliances. Also not to forget, there is a mental emotional impact of this sun in the Scorpio sign. It is because there is this intensity, deep internal processing, possible stress, restlessness is there. So recommunicate, because Mercury is retrograde till the 29th. So recommunicate. And spiritual threshold is when Sun is in Gandanta in the next month. So be prepared for that. Some shift in perspective happens whenever there is water and fire energy prevalent. And the trine of Saturn and Jupiter implies the need of maturity, introspection, restructuring. Overall, this is a time of transformation rather than comfort. So mental resilience, self-discipline, and reflection will help you rather than being impulsive. Also, I wanted to mention the nakshatras also, and the new moon and full moon dates with you guys. So that is happening on the, I'll just tell you. I had mentioned it right here. Okay, new moon is on the 20th of November at 3 degrees 50 minutes Scorpio, and full moon is on the 4th December in Taurus on at 18 degrees 50 minutes. And sun is going to be in the Vishakha, so it means the themes are alliances, division of power, decisions with two sides. That's happening from the 16th to the 20th, and Anuradha 20th November to the 3rd of December. The theme being, because the deity is Mitra, friendship, commandery. So this is about coalition. This is about public trust. And this is about shared goals and networking. Jyeshtha, the eldest, senior. Deity is Indra, kingly power. So themes would be leadership, hidden authority, control, secret emerging. Okay. And how these are going to play out, it is definitely going to be that the alliances are going to be tested, and leadership shifts abroad can happen. So abroad as in like out of your place where you are. So secrecy to sovereignty, that is what is the key theme. And when sun enters the depths, what lies beneath will rise. Okay. So this is the key theme of this transit. I hope I have been quick to share with you my insights. So over to you, Ashwin, and we'll be talking about Aries first. And it's as per the, okay, one sec. Let me change the sign first. One sec. All right. So we're going to be doing as per the ascendant, moon sign, and the dasha sign wise readings. And first is Aries. So what do you see for Aries, Ashwin?
Aries, the fifth lord, sun, is going into the 8th house. So basically, the deepest part of your chart. So sun is lighting up or illuminating the deepest part of your charts. And it's also a place of shared resources, because 8th house is other people's resources, inheritances, or some kind of obligation, an indescribable unknown fear. So all these things are going to come out, or it's going to be felt deep inside. And we have Mars and Mercury also along with the sun. And all these planets are, moving towards the bending. That is the squares from Rahu and Ketu. So there is this focus of this period which is redirected towards the foundations of the emotional world, and also the financial world to some extent. The axis of 2, 8, 2, 5, 8, and 11 are indicative of finances, and also emotions, right? So both financial and emotional world are activated. So maybe emotions because of finance, or finance causing some kind of emotions, are very much plausible. And in general, whatever is lying hidden, as Vanitaji mentioned, is going to be illuminated. And this is very, very true for Aries rising, because Scorpio is the 8th house and sun is lighting up your 8th house. So matters that you usually keep to yourself and not say to anyone is going to come to attention or need attention. So sun ruling the 5th house, it naturally carries the topics of children, creativity, intelligence, learning, performative arts, or in general desire of pleasure or enjoyment, whatever it is. And if the 5th lord is in the 8th house, the creative energy goes inside. So it's a little, instead of kind of creative self-expression which goes outside, the creative energy kind of turns inward. So it is a little introspective, with Mercury also there being retrograde. So there is the introspective nature of what is going on and how is your path in terms of your creative projects or intelligence related matters or anything that you are undertaking creatively. You go and revisit it and see what it is, what are the mistakes and what are the course correction that you need to do. And if there is any idea that is wrong, you can kind of correct it or throw off the old ideas and bring back some of the new ideas in your projects or whatever that kind of puts you on the map to cross the rest of the year in peace and also with some kind of success. So there is a greater depth to all this, but there is also some kind of inspiration that kind of goes inward because of Mars being there, energy is there, Mercury is there, the idea of rational analysis and the and the self-reflection with honesty is also there. And Sun automatically lights up all these things and illuminates the eighth house matters. And Venus will join, and there will be some kind of self-love and empathy as well, and also kind of support from other people. So which cannot be ruled out. So anything that's related to your child or your creative projects or anything that relates to the fifth house may require some kind of practical, hard decisions that will be needed from your side, be it investment or be it your time for your children or the commitment for your children or whatever it is long term in terms of your financial goals or whatever it is. So all these things need your attention and you need to focus on all these things, because whatever happens within Scorpio is not really short term. It is going to have consequences, and there is a lot of responsibilities and long term implications that kind of come with that. So, and the reason for strength is that Mars, the lord of your rising sign or the moon sign or the dasha sign, is also placed in Scorpio in its own sign with full strength. And Mars basically strengthens all these eighth house themes by bringing in courage and the clarity that is necessary for you to embrace the transformative experiences that you're going on. This obviously is not a very easy placement, because we sometimes have to do some things that we don't like, or we have to say some things that we don't like. Especially with Mercury, we have to say harsh no or harsh facts or something like that to other people, which makes us feel a little vulnerable. So we need to cut our desires and also leave what is draining us and move forward by decluttering. So as I mentioned, financial restructuring is needed. So clearing of burdens, and don't take any new obligations, or also finish off if you have any old obligations. This is the right time, and Mars will give you the courage to act upon closing out old obligations. And if you feel something is burdening you, there is no need for you to continue doing what you're doing. So respect your boundaries and protect your energy yourself so that others won't trespass the same. So Mercury retrograde in Scorpio in conjunction with the Sun is going to, by transit, there is this Buddhaditya Yoga. So it is going to help you process or analyze all these thoughts or memories and change into information and use it to your best potential. So any conversation that you may have at this point will turn to be very serious discussions about money. And eighth house also brings the theme of trust. So money or trust or commitments, all these come into forefront, and there will be good amount of information for you to deal with all these things very well and also with tact. And thinking about past experiences or past wounds is not bad, but also it is important to leave those things now to embrace this newfound clarity, which I'm sure you all will do with your eighth house active. Uh, Third lord in the eighth house, siblings could be a cause of challenge or burden or mental trouble or tension, whatever it is. But it is important for you to kind of neutralize the situation and move forward with some kind of better clarity and joy. Fifth house is always joy. So when Sun ruling the fifth house is placed in the eighth house, there needs to be constant channelizing our efforts, or channelizing of time or energy towards matters of entertainment or something like that. So we need to be mindful of how much time we spend there, and also investments and all these things need a little bit of care. It needs practical decisions rather than emotional decisions, and that will be the learning at this point. So but the transformation is going to be slow, it is going to be very private, but you need to acknowledge it and you need to give the time for the foundation to be built. So patience is very needed. So we cannot act as if Swiggy is delivering enlightenment in 30 minutes, as if it is delivering our dinner or something. So try to be patient and enjoy the sun in Aries with all the transformative experiences. Jupiter is aspecting, which is a good thing.
Okay, great. As it is, you have said it all, because it's the eighth house energy. So it is about, you have to take care of your kids also, because it is the Lord of the fifth in the eighth house. So you have to take care. It is said, only 3, 6, 10, 11 houses, only Sun gives good results. So when we talk about the transits, we have to see where it is transiting. Sun is very important graha in the natural zodiac, and it exalts in your first house any which way. So there can be some fine, punishment, or we can say that you might just be asked to pay your taxes on time, or if you have delayed, so you have to maybe go for some fine. So there can be some enmity, anxiety, or some kind of jealousy which you have to deal with also during this time, and there can be some loss of your I would say reputation when Sun is here. It's said that you should avoid, lay low during this time rather than jumping into anything. And it is about hidden matters, inheritance issues, all that, insurance claims, data leaks. Don't share your OTPs. Don't share your. Even if you are very careful, there can be some kind of scam which can happen. So be careful about all of that. Mercury is any which way is retrograde. We have to be careful about that. And power struggles in partnerships, forensic audit, all these are also the themes. So rework shared investments, maintain transparency in joint accounts. There can be some chronic disease which can come back. So take care of your health also. And don't ignore hidden and any kind of hidden matters, and just don't be too suspicious about your relationship also, because this can be the time when you can have some fight between the two of you, the husband and the wife, the spousal relationship, or boyfriend girlfriend, they can also have issues. So boyfriend girlfriend, all that can happen. So you have to be careful. And cough like disease can happen as well, because Sun is with Mercury and Mars, blood related, cough related, inflammation. So you have to take care of that also, in case you are in that place where it's very hot climate. So it can bring about sunstroke also when Sun is in the eighth house. So all these, if you take care, I'm sure you're good to go. And just take care of your mental setup. Ashwin has explained it better. So just be mindful of your screen time. Don't overspend time there. All right. So let's move on to the next one, that is Taurus. One sec, let me remove this. Okay, Taurus.
Okay. So Taurus is, again, I think I've said it before. So Taurus is one sign where both Sun and Saturn kind of can act together, because Sun also rules an angle which has the function of causing something good, and also Saturn is the Yoga Karaka for Taurus rising, and both these planets are in trine. So now is the time for Taurian natives to bring out structure in their domestic environment, because Saturn demands structure, but also it indicates some kind of structure in our social circles. So social circles mean your friendship, or anything that is out of your family is basically a social circle. So the time that we spend with our social circle needs attention, and Sun is going to throw light on all those things, which means that we need to spend time for our family. And if you're already married, spend time with your spouse, and that's what Sun is going to say here. And Mercury, the lord of the fifth house, in the seventh house, also indicates that there is some kind of a time that is lost, and Mercury's retrograde is an opportunity for you to go back and make up for the lost time before Mercury turns direct. So if you're married, and if you have if you're too much into your profession, which I know, I'm pretty sure with Rahu in the 10th house and Saturn in the 11th house, there is a lot of time that you all are spending for your professional circles or social circles, but there is much less that is being done for family and spouse or the domestic circles, and that is what you need to concentrate. So it is not a bad time to kind of embark upon a quick short weekend trip or something to find some kind of rejuvenation. So basically, the house of marriage or relationships and even some kind of agreements, because it is seventh, is activated. And again, spotlight is basically on relationship dynamics. So you cannot avoid seeing what works and what does not work. So you need to form a real good thing. So it's like someone is holding a mirror in front of us, and we need to see our face in terms of what is good and what is not good, and we have to accept that how our actions or behavior is causing challenges or problems to others. So which is sometimes it is good and sometimes it is bad. So if something is bad, it's not good to correct. So and course correction is a good thing with Mercury retrograde in the seventh house. So we can spend a lot of time with spouses and home, family, emotional roots, and also some kind of a deep stability and the internal well-being is all ruled by the sun as it rules the fourth house. And sun's entry into the seventh house is kind of your the roots directly interacting with our partnerships or our spouses, or the seventh house matters where we form connections and and decisions that kind of relate or are related to our home or some property. Even immovable properties, fourth house indicates immovable properties. It might require a discussion with another person, and that is indicated by sun in the seventh house and also Mercury in the seventh house. So you need to bring in that better half or someone very special into decision making, and that is when there is this emotional fulfillment or also some kind of satisfaction that we are kind of doing something right. And there is also an opportunity for the emotional needs to come out. The other person is going to understand, and sun brings clarity naturally. Sun is the planet of light. Sun indicates awareness. Sun indicates radiance. Sun is the ruler of consciousness. So clarity is what is needed at this point as far as your relationships are concerned. And Mars, the planet of action and also assertiveness, is basically transiting through the seventh house very strongly. So there is a little bit of reactive sensations in conversations, um, and others can also be a little more direct with you, which might kind of kindle some kind of anger or something. But there is no conflict. So it's important for us to understand. Sometimes hard things need to be said, and if someone says that something hard, or if we find something hard which becomes difficult to avoid, it is important to not avoid and actually go through whatever it is in a honest manner and see what you can offer and how you can kind of better the situation through your own efforts. And uh, and that is something that we need to do. Like it's not something to ignore, or it's a healthy courage that we need to build, where we can create some boundaries for external environment and focus on internal environment through clear communication. Mercury retrograde, there are chances of poor communication, so it's important that we make sure our communication is clear. So and again, Mercury adds thought or conversation or some kind of analytical matters to whatever we say. And and people kind of close to us will start talking about these deep matters. And sometimes when we think that there is no expectation from our spouses, uh, they it's just that they did not communicate, and the expectation suddenly will come into open. So unspoken words really come out now, and sometimes that would be a hidden hope for the other person, but it may have never come out. So now is the time for you to understand the deeper unsaid truths will come out, which will probably better the relationship or play some kind of a role in the relationship. So it's about community, sorry, it's about commitment, not community, but and also some kind of shared life direction with the better half. Overall, I think it's there is some kind of friction, but there is also this opportunity to act properly, and don't be indifferent, or do not let anger or emotions get in the way, because the relationship is generally taking a turn, and now you are becoming more aware of the situation. and you're also kind of trying to put in maximum efforts to straighten yourself and also contribute to the relationship with the enough emotional truth that you can express, and also that you can acknowledge by cooperating with the other person. And it is also natural for us to expect the same kind of a cooperation or the similar dynamic from the other person. So overall, I think it's a reshaping kind of a thing, or recalibrating the relationship with some of the important people in your life. And I hope this atmosphere with Sun in Scorpio creates some kind of balance where you become, I mean, where your relationships become more stronger, clearer, and also you move with a little bit of conviction and clarity.
Okay, great. So seventh house themes, you have already said, partnership, contracts, and open enemies also when we talk about seventh house. And Mars is forming a Ruchaka Yoga in the Kendra. So it is becoming very strong. Fourth Lord in the seventh house might give you travels also. And some, partner crisis we can see here, because Sun's transit in the seventh house is like a debilitated position. And it's in trine to Saturn as well, not to forget. So the lifeblood is communication. So Mercury retrograde warns us for mismanaging, misdealings, etc. If you are thinking of investing more during this time in the current business or business proposal, etc., so this is not the time. Avoid, especially till the 29th of November. And then long-term commitments may be tested during this time. And relationship stress might affect adrenal or spleen region. Clarify terms and document everything and stay grounded. And also, as per the current situation, that is Jupiter is also retrograde, Mercury is also retrograde, Saturn is also retrograde. So it can bring about some stomach-related issues also. You have to take care. And it can be that you're traveling and you have some issues, you eat something out, so it can spoil your health. Digestive trouble can happen, itches, skin related problem can happen, so take care. And you may be forced to go out of your place of birth. Maybe you're forced to go, you're not wanting to, but you might. And some unnecessary expenditure also can happen, because Mercury is the ruler of the second house in the seventh house, which is 6 places away from itself. And also humiliation. Take care of your reputation. Do not just maybe it can be an aimless goal that you are setting, and you're not unnecessary, you're wasting your money here and there. So be focused, and you definitely are going to be doing well. And those in jobs might feel that they are stagnant right now with this kind of transit. So you might just have to put a little extra effort there and not expect too much from the workplace right now if you are without job. So this is like, you might just be paid very little for the job assignment that you're getting. So you have to accept it also. And when Mars, is the ruler of the 7th house, also the 12th house, is so strong. So you have to take care of your health any which ways, because it is conjunct the immovable property ruler, that is Sun. So it might just bring about unnecessary wandering, unnecessary wastage of money. So reread the documents well before signing. That is something you have to be little careful about. And I think Jupiter will save you once Jupiter is in the second house. It might just bring about that clarity about your finances. Some savings will be done. So wait for that transit, though it is demoted, but it is better than the transiting Jupiter exalted retrograde. All right. So I think we can move on to Gemini now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Gemini, third ruler is going into the 6th house. Right. So the Sun, it's basically effort. So third house is the house of effort and courage, and 6th house is the house of service, discipline, health, or daily routines, and sometimes conflicts, enemies, debts, and everything. And these are the kind of cadent houses that somehow, although they're behind the scenes, they keep the life functioning, right? So one of the most practical areas of the chart, the third and the 6th house, are active at this point. And Sun, Mars, and Mercury are gathering here. So it's a time for embracing workload, responsibilities, and also to kind of reset your systems. So with Mercury retrograde in the sixth house, it becomes important for you to analyze and uh, see how our daily habits are affecting our health, or our domestic surroundings. So there is some kind of a reset that is needed. And Sun ruling the third house talks about communications skills, or siblings, younger siblings, and also some kind of short distance travels, because third house indicates short distance travels as well, and also courage required for all kind of actions that is necessary. So here it's like effort is the primary thing, because Sun is the ruler of effort in your chart, and you may kind of find yourself taking on something at work that requires a lot of focus or commitment, and also strain that you need to put in, because something that might come up is very challenging. So it will be important for you to communicate very precisely. You will have the skills, and that is the reason the job is coming to you, but you need to be very sure if you're able to do it, or you are able to organize your schedule or not. And if you won't be able to do it, it's better to kind of say that it's challenging for you at this time, maybe at a different time. And if you do take it, make sure that you organize yourself very well, and plan your day, or plan your schedule for as long as you need to do that job, because it will demand a lot of consistency, and procrastination is not going to help, especially with Saturn in the 10th house. Also retrograde, there is every chance that we procrastinate when we have to act. So be very careful about all those things, which might actually sometimes cause reputational damage at work. So it's important you be aware of what you can do and what you can promise. Don't over promise. So, and naturally, Mars there with Sun, it increases some kind of activity. So there is this energy. So we might tend to kind of think that we will be able to do whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it is Himalayas, you are ready to climb. But only after reaching at the foot of Himalayas, we come to know that it is beyond our capability, and we need a little more time to practice and do whatever it's there. So there is some kind of inherent stress from the very beginning, and it's important to kind of manage all those activities and also your time very, very carefully and wisely. So and it is also sixth house is something that indicates challenge, right? So it's some job that is not very comfortable with which we tend to kind of prefer to postpone. So that again indicates the theme of procrastination. So make sure that you don't procrastinate. You are very enthusiastic while taking on, but maybe the same energy will not sustain after taking on. So be sure that you put in all the efforts to sustain the energy that is needed. So sometimes we kind of tend to focus on inefficient things that might involve poor health habits, or eating habits, and also kind of managing work responsibilities, as I mentioned. So it's important for you to put things on calendar and follow the calendar. If something doesn't go on the calendar, you don't do it, so that you don't uh, deprioritize or misprioritize as to what you need to do, which will help you avoid conflicts in your daily life. Because Mars here is the significator of action and not uh, procrastination or avoiding. So if any problems are there, now is the time for you to solve, because Sun in Vishaka Nakshatra is a good time for problem solving. And it's also a good time for research or something like that, because sixth house indicates some kind of strategic thinking as well. So there is some kind of a grammar surrounding emotions at this point we can do. And especially with Mercury there, our analytical brain is working a little bit overtime. And with Mercury being retrograde, there is a good chance to focus, because Mercury is moving slowly than it usually does, which helps us see things more clearly than how we usually would. So it's not an easy time, but it can be a very productive period with so much of prominence in the sixth house. Health needs utmost care, uh, and also make sure that you take on what you can satisfy, and don't overdo. Expect you know when you, I mean, obviously you are doing so much at work and you will take on responsibilities, but don't expect for immediate gratification or something like that, because karma is building up slowly. So if we keep checking results as if you're having some grade 10 or grade 12 results like students, it will not happen immediately. So have patience and wait. Saturn is in the 10th house. Everything comes slowly, but this will be a period for you to remember, as the journey is going to be fruitful, despite it is challenging.
Very good insights, actually. You're absolutely right. One must not overdo and underdo. That is what is the sixth house energy, because sixth house is one of the three Shadaya houses, but at the same time, it is aspected by the Bhagya Lord, that is Saturn. It is in trine, and Jupiter, being the ruler of the 10th house, is also looking at the sun in retrogression, though, but still 3 6 7 3 6 10 11 houses are good for sun's transit. So it is good for recovery. It is good for recovery of your bank account or anything that you've lost already. So it will definitely be positive for you. In case you're waiting for some some kind of breakthroughs, this is good. Some kind of promotion if you're waiting, so you might just get that. Also maybe gains through travels. And also it's said that when sun is here, your health gets better, your worries and difficulties vanish. So all these, or we can say they disappear. So Lagnesh is also there, though it is retrograde, but still it is also an exalted kind of Mercury is exalted here in a way. So he's happy here. But it is with the enemy in the enemy sign. So being retrograde is good for you for that reason also. So it's a mixed bag. Just because Sun is in trine to Saturn, and in Sun sign, we have a Ketu energy also. So what happens? There will be too much of workload. Maybe there will be lack of mental peace also, because the Lord of the fourth is retrograde. So you will have lots to finish. This is a work hard zone, basically, where Sun is. And you cannot ignore your health. So keep your health under check. And any kind of ongoing illness, if you have, don't ignore it too. You might just change the doctor during this time. You might just connect with a new health regime. You will be connecting with a dietitian or someone. And also not to forget that in Vishakha, this will help you divide the work, so that you'll be able to delegate the work, and you will find someone who can help you out with whatever job you're doing. And in Anuradha, it is going to be from this 20th November to the 3rd of December. So that is a good time period for social network or service network to enhance. Maybe you will get the help that you're waiting for. And also don't burn out, especially when it is in the Jyeshtha. So some kind of challenge would be there when it is in Jyeshtha from 3rd December to 16th December. And it's going to be in Gandanta zone as well by the end of it. So discipline trumps drama. So that is something you have to follow. And also you will get conflicts at work. You will get a lot of workload, but at the same time, details will have to come forward, and you will get the clarity also because of the kind of combination is happening here. So you will be you'll be an achiever. You'll gain that respect at the workplace also, if you're doing it not money wise, but yes, in perks wise, you will get that upgradation. Okay, coming to the next one, that is Cancer. Ashwin will be quick.
Yeah, sure. So Cancer, fifth house activation with the Lord of the second house going into the fifth house. Again, throwing light on themes such as creativity, intelligence, children, learning, or even romance. All come, all these joyful things of, the Cancer rising natives, which are filled with emotions, is very, very active now. So it's almost like heart speaks, like sun is opening everything and things pour outside. So and this is the time we kind of over promise, or from a material perspective, like just because we get into this some kind of a joyful mood, we cannot over promise giving or sharing something with someone out of emotional whim. So maybe we'll be backfired because of what we say. So it is important to maintain the decorum of family values or sustenance and financial stability. So all these things need some care. Be very careful about your resources and make sure that you don't let your creativity or joy ruin the resources that you have. So ideas will come for you, but there will be some kind of practical consequences, because Mercury, the lord of the third and the 12th house, is also placed in the 5th house. So any creative idea will come with a little bit of a challenge or uncertainty. But I think rather than expressing it, is important for you to analyze and do things intelligently, like in the true 5th house fashion. So sharing emotional truths and having courage to do so is very important at this point, because the intensity is going to give some kind of a clarity towards all the 5th house matters. So if you're engaging in a relationship, or if you want to communicate something in a new relationship or something, it is important for you to do that, and not kind of take back in terms of what you want to say. And the creative energy and also the emotional passion will slowly build as sun enters through the sign. And it's important for you to feel confident. If you have children, now is the time for you to kind of feel a little bit more protective, spend more time with them. And also, if you're still kind of looking out for a partner, you can be a little daring in romantic matters. I mean, don't cross the line, but um, be playful, but not playful in a bad way. So, and because Mars brings a lot of seriousness and intention to this, right? So if we do something, it will be perceived by the other person in such a way that we have that intention. So if we do something bad, people will believe that we are doing something bad with bad intention, and they won't think that we are, so it's important that we don't cross the line just because 5th house is too active or something like that. So artistic capability is very good, intellectuality is very good, and Mars is giving you all the necessary force and courage to move forward and push and break all the barriers that are lying in front of you. So Mercury is going to give this idea of thinking, planning, and communication, strategizing, sequentializing, grammatical development or something like that. So you can kind of think about um, teaching your children and helping them kind of do something really productive. And it's not about surface level experiences with Scorpio. You have to deal with your children by going very deep. And on the other hand, it's very common for men who are fathers, the children ask something, and the fathers usually say yes immediately, and the mother comes and kind of does an immediate drama, questioning or interrogating as to why we did so. So that kind of a situation might intensify this time. So be careful. If you're buying something for your child, just be careful and let your wife know beforehand, and don't give her a surprise, right? Rahu is in the 8th house, so be ready for the dance. So uh, there is enough joy. Enjoy your joy, and there is a sense of stability as well, emotional stability. There is roller coaster, but there is some kind of emotional stability that we all are dealing with. So try to kind of ride with the same wave and express yourself to partners. It's not bad after all. I think they are expecting that you express or you share your vulnerabilities with them. You're allowed to feel, just because Scorpio is active. Uh, Cancer natives, you are natural feelers. So feel free to kind of feel and enjoy this period where you can express authenticity, the your own Cancerian authenticity, and also the joy that is never fake. So I think it is important for you to bring all those things to open.
Okay, yes, it is about the secrecy, with Scorpio sign being so hyperactive, I would say, with so many planets one by one joining in. So, Sun, being the ruler of the second house, is going to be conjunct the 12th Lord, third Lord in the 5th house with the Yoga Karagraha Mars. Also, Mars is a very strong placement, with the strength it's gaining here. So sun here generally is very creative, but it's not considered to be that good. It is like a Karko Bhavnashai kind of a feel. That is where, it rules the 5th house in the natural zodiac. And when it is in the fifth house, something related to children you do hear, something related to loss of in speculative money. Maybe you can have some issues in your romantic life also. Some projects are going to be branching out. You have to do multiple tasks at a time because you are quite creative, quite capable, because 10th Lord Mars is also there, but it is in the 8th house from the 10th, so it can bring about loss of reputation also. You're thinking of whatever whichever planet is forming a connection in the 5th house. Do remember it's 8th from the 10th. Loss of karma, or we would not loss of karma, but there is some overhauling, transformation is required. So you have to be more creative, you have to think out of the box if you really want some good results, because Saturn is also the 8th lord in trine, and Jupiter being the ruler of your 6th house, one of the three Shaddai rulers, and the Bhagya Lord is retrograde as well. So you're not dependent on your luck right now. You're on your own. So you need to be overzealous in risk. You don't be overzealous in risk. Don't be too much into, too much of urge to be physically attached to someone, emotionally attached to someone. Don't just get carried away. So it can bring about some kind of issue that you're already facing in a romance. It might just provoke tension related to childbirth, progeny, or conception. It can bring about all of that. Align creativity with strategy. Avoid showing off. This is not the time to do so. And also, when it is in the Anuradha Nakshatra from 20th November to the 3rd of December, collaborative creations would be favorable. From 3rd December to 16th December, it's going to be in Jyeshtha, so spotlight on senior creative figures. Maybe you will be connecting with some influential people. You'll be taking some advice from those kinds of seniors or seniority people or guru-like people or mentors. You'll be connecting to, or some mentorship program also is quite likely. So if you are thinking, you must actually save money right now, because Ketu is there in your second house. It's the Sankuchit, it's the accumulated wealth that we see from the second house. So second house ruler is forming a connection with the Yoga Karagraha. So you're getting an opportunity, but as I said, you're on your own. Don't depend too much on your luck. Oh, it'll happen. No, nothing is going to happen on its own unless you put the effort. Sometimes I've seen things happen on their own also. I've seen there is a close shave. Oh, I was about to meet with an accident, but something, just stopped me. I was late to board the flight and the flight crashed. What is that? That is a divine grace or something, some kind of protection that is there. It is there with everyone. I wish it's there with everyone. Nobody goes through these kinds of mishaps. But at the same time, there are people who die in the road accidents. They face some kind of, maybe, some kind of trauma, health issues, and they pass on. So it is something where, the suddenness in life, that means there is something, that you have to quit your karma that way. So here, Sun in the Scorpio sign says, take it easy in relationship. Take care of your kids. If they need attention, you must be there by their side. All right. So this is what is the core theme of Sun in your Scorpio sign transit. Let's move on to the next one, that is Leo. All right.
Yeah. Sun is in the 4th house, right? So 4th house is the house of emotional foundations or home, domestic environment, domestic responsibilities, private inner world that other people don't get to see, and that is 4th house. So when it is Scorpio for Leo rising, it is domestic matters are very, very serious and intense. And now, apart from the Sun, we have Mercury and also Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, transiting. So transiting Scorpio or the 4th house. So this is a lot of intensity in personal space. So naturally, your attention is going to turn inward, and it should turn inward. You should not waste energy in external circumstances, because the 4th house indicates internal channelization of energy. When the Lord of the rising sign Sun is placed in the 4th house, it requires that you have to carry your identity and direction with some kind of a sense of purpose and clarity towards the matters of the 4th house, and try to throw awareness on areas where that is blurry, So if anything that needs to be changed in domestic environment, you should kind of focus and change it and try to bring some kind of stability to the domestic environment. So there is a desire to feel protective about your space, and that is natural with Mars already there, and also now Sun is joining. So y- protective feeling is already there, and and I think that is where the emotions are attached. Emotions are grounded in the idea of protection, and also to kind of feel good about the sacred space of home or the domestic environment. So it is good to reorganize. I have already said this here many times. If fourth house has too much of prominence, it is important for you to reorganize something at home or just change something. Like if you have a table somewhere, just move that table to other place and change some of the decor items, and it will quickly give some kind of a refreshing shift in mindset. But that also happens in quiet. So sometimes change happens very quietly or very in a very small way. It doesn't have to be huge, but it might kind of bring something good. So for example, um, you someone at your home, be it your children or your wife or your husband or your father or mother, have been asking for something, or some kind of a possession or a chair or a table or a book or something. Just give them. I think that will give you some kind of peace. So it's very true, and I've realized this in my own experience with fourth house matters. So it can sound small, but it's very good. So it helps fix things at home without even fixing it. So but if something's really broken, now is the time for you to kind of repair, um, and also try to kind of solve any long-standing family issues or conflicts that kind of have been uh, that you've been ignoring. So it's not something you can ignore anymore. So uh, I think there is some kind of a strong urge to clear or throw off all these old patterns that have been disrupting your domestic setup, and now it is kind of becoming a too sensitive to handle. So now you actually deal with it and put those outside. So if if there are any ancestral related matters or property dealings or something like that, now is the time for you to take some initiatives towards that, because Mars and Sun both will kind of give this vitality and courage to face whatever happens. So Mercury will help with analytical matters, and all those things. Jupiter is aspecting, so there is this nice self-reflection and the feeling of home in terms of whatever we are doing. There is no hesitation in terms of where we are headed, especially in terms of domestic environment. But there will be some kind of imbalance because of this nodal bending. It will be a turning point, or it will be something that slightly makes you uncomfortable emotionally during the beginning. But over the period of time, things, once they fall into alignment, I think there will be a good clarity that emerges out of our own actions. So sun is you. So this you in the sense, because it's the lord of the rising sign or the dasha ruler or the sun sign or the moon sign. Whatever it is you, and it affects you. It affects your mood. It affects your sense of being or comfort or sense of belonging or the private internal feeling or happiness. And and try to kind of be in touch with some humor during this time. There is a lot of intense emotions that's going on. It's good if you kind of watch some stand-up comedy or something like that. So those moments will subtly take care of your emotional self and give you the much needed diversion that you need. And if something goes beyond you, or if you've been dealing with some kind of a challenge over a longer period of time, I think it is good to kind of approach someone, a counselor or a psychologist, or maybe even an astrologer, for clarity, which will kind of be very good for you. So either way, gain your inner strength, and this is the period where you will realize that there is still strength left in you, and that kind of lies inside you, and it is not determined by the external circumstances. So I think take care of your inner self, which actually fuels everything else.
Awesome. Lovely quote towards the end. Advice rather. So Sun being the ruler of the first house, ascendant lord in the fourth house. Sun generally doesn't do well in the fourth house. Why? Because it is about your emotions. Sun is not emotional. If the king becomes emotional, how will he deal with the public? So the masses, the leader. So that is why it is not that great. And you leave your place where you are, or there can be some shifting, relocation, some kind of move also happens when sun disturbs this fourth house zone. It can disturb you by relocation. It can disturb you by your mental setup. It can be something that you're thinking too much or dwelling too much on, something very important which requires attention also. Maybe it is property matters, it is something to do with your education. Mercury is retrograde, so it can bring about that kind of an issue also. But remember, it is with Mars is your Yoga Karagraha also being there and forming a Ruchaka Yoga. So Yoga Karagraha, Ruchaka Yoga, and forming a Buddhaditya Yoga in the Kendra, it's a very powerful yoga because it is good for your financial growth, but it can bring about something to do with your residence, your property, family heritage, renovation, real estate stress. All those can happen, or some dispute can also happen. But at the same time, you should stick to the basics, stick to the roots. Don't leave the roots. And also your paperwork, you have to be a little careful about when Mercury is retrograde, about your investments. Reread what you really want to invest in, speculative income, etc. If you're thinking of investing. So secure your foundation and avoid reactive decisions during this time period. And it is said that, when a sun is here, you lose some money on food, finances, because of somebody in the hospital. Some kind of comfort and sleep gets disturbed here. It could be XYZ reason, so there can be some quarrels, but it is good for your partner's elevation at the workplace, and also some kind of promotion can be there. But at the same time, it can disturb you because there are long working hours of your partner. But maybe in your business, partnership business, the partner is doing well and is making more profit and is not sharing it with you. Something to do with paperwork discrepancy. So just make sure that you are doing everything in a proper manner, everything is in writing, and you're not just verbally making decisions. Also take care of your body pains, fever, blood related issues can happen. Heart related problems I've seen people have when sun is in the fourth house. So take care. And also your respiratory issues can happen. So make sure that your property matters, your paperwork, etc., is done is done properly. Also, I must tell you, home extension or division is also quite possible with Sun in Vishakha till the 20th of November. Then it moves into the Anuradha Nakshatra from 20th November till the 3rd of December, Saturn's Nakshatra also. So there can be some family reunion, family alliances. You connecting with your childhood friends is also quite likely in between this time period, though not all the time, but yeah, some time period, you will experience highs and lows also. Mood swings also happen. And Jyeshtha, it is going to be in Gandanta towards the end, so 3rd December to 16 December. So 15, 16, 17, you have to be a little careful about your emotional setup. And also it is said that there can be some ancestral matters that can emerge when it is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. So you can resolve those issues if you have any, and you will get the ancestral money also. Okay, it's after all Lagnesh in the 4th house. Don't fall prey to the emotions. Be more logical and independent. Coming to the next one, that is Virgo. All right.
Yeah. So Virgo is basically sun entering the 3rd house, the 12th lord entering the 3rd house, which means that two cadent houses are connected. 3, 6, 9, and 12 are cadent, and we are looking at the activation of two of these houses. So there is effort is naturally there. Communication, learning, siblings, short journeys. Again, because of the 3rd house themes are all activated, and 3rd house is really kind of prominent with the activation of Mars, Mercury, the lord of the rising sign Virgo, and also Mars and Sun are placed there. So ruling the 12th house, I think Sun carries the theme primarily of uncertainty, rest, sometimes even isolation. Like we might feel isolated, but isolation is one thing. So isolation and solitude have very subtle differences. Like solitude is when we choose to be alone, but isolation is like when we are forcefully left alone. So solitude is good, but isolation is not good. So if you are dealing with solitude or isolation, and especially isolation, maybe it is time for you to kind of dive deep and see what is the reason for that, and you can kind of focus more on yourself rather than the external circumstances. So matters related to foreign or anything that is foreign might kind of crop up or come to surface or prominence. Expenses will naturally increase, but I think the expenses are also under your control. Like, you put effort to spend money, so if you don't do that, I think that will not be there. So it's either way, it's important to kind of take care of money or something like that. So maybe you have to spend money for your younger siblings, or something like that will take place. So the it's about the deeper inner world, that is the 12th house, that kind of is fueling our effort, courage, and the third house matters that are related to our daily life. So sometimes it is easier if we simplify some of the habits that drain our energy. So if you feel something is draining your energy, it is important for you to kind of just leave those things. Ideas may occur in dreams, and insights may come in dreams, and and by dreams, I mean to say that it's not that you'll get some kind of a revelation like Ramanuja got in terms of mathematical theorems. But I'm saying, if you are in quiet, or if you are in some kind of an intuitive, silent place, suddenly the mind starts working better, and that's when you feel a lot more, and there is a lot more insights that you gain from yourself, not just by talking or having communication. So it is self communication, talking inside, is far more important, and Mars kind of propels this idea. And you know there is a tendency to overthink because of 12th cloud in the third house, and also there is a tendency to immediately act based on overthinking. So it's important we keep our urge down. So be more skillful and speak more directly, and try to kind of handle tasks with a little bit more precision. So uncertainty is there, something is clouding our vision there, so be very sure to think twice or thrice before doing something or saying something. So impulsive words will cause challenges for us at this point. So there is impatience as well, so try to be patient. Siblings naturally come to the forefront, third house. Neighbors can also be prominent, but either way, any communication with them or any dealings with them can get a little intense. So try to be very mindful of it and ignore any kind of conflict, because with Mars in third house, you are not going to leave any conflict. So you're going to kind of fuel it and add fuel to fire. So just stay out of it. If the situation intensifies or something happens that you don't like. So in general, I think mind becomes sharper with a little bit of cloud, and short of confidence. Although you're sharp, you don't feel necessarily confident. You are intuitive, again, you don't necessarily feel confident. So just because of the sun ruling the 12th house, the doubt somewhere, the self-doubt is also there. And the Lord of the rising sign is also retrograde. So uh, old memories, going back to old memories, trying to meet someone from the past can also work out. Like, those people might give sudden clarity or something like that. So don't expect for a turning point, but be ready to kind of take an initiative, because make sure that you understand, without your action or your initiative, the turning point is not going to occur. So there is a slight misunderstanding in this. Try to be decisive in your actions and be sure about it. Don't rush into anything. So I think overall, it's important you deal things with purpose and a little bit of a slow, careful approach, rather than assertive action or something like that.
See, for me, Sun in the third house, sixth house, 10th house, 11th house does well. But it is conjunct the eighth lord, because Mars is actually, gaining more strength here, which is the enemy to the Lagnesh also, and the Lagnesh is retrograde also. So if we put everything together, this might bring about some health issues. There can be some arguments that you can have. You will be very bold, you'll be very courageous, you want to do things, you can be very creative also. And this also brings about, working towards your finances also now very seriously. Okay. And maybe, this will give you some short journeys. You can have some issues to deal with your siblings also. There can be that you are in the front line of messaging, and that is something that you might just be things might just flare up. You have not thought of it, but you were pushed to speak or send that email that you were not supposed to. Oh, you just tell everybody that we are sacking them. You are in the limelight. That kind of a situation can also come up. So you might launch a campaign or a fight or sibling with a sibling or a peer. There can be some local community events that you can also participate in. Digital projects will light up, and also use words wisely during this time. It is very important that action speak louder than tweets. So you have to be a little careful. Nowadays we don't have tweets, but we have X users nowadays. And also in the third house, there are 3 nakshatras this sun is going to be. So there can be some dual messaging or dual misunderstanding which can happen, because sun is going to be in Vishakha. Vishakha means two dualities attached to it, and Mercury is the dual sign ruler and is retrograde. At the workplace, you can have that communication gap. Some confusion can be there, so you have to be cautious from the 16th to the 20th of November. Then 20th November till the 3rd, it is going to be some network communication which is there. Some important decision making can also be because of your projects or something getting sanctioned. Jyeshtha, high level messaging or leak can happen. That is from 3rd of December till the 16th of December. And it's going to be in Gandanta zone also. So you need to be cautious about your mental setup also. As regards to your health, you need to take care of your shoulder region. You are working long hours. It can give you some problems because of this. It can lead to some, lower abdominal region issues also. You can be more courageous than required. So that is something you need to be cautious about. And there can be some guidance which is required for your kids as well. Okay, coming to the next one, that is Libra. All right.
Yeah. So Libra, Libra's sun is in the second house. A lot of the 11th house is placed in the second house, and a lot of the 11th house can be an obstructor for the cardinal sign. So something that is concerning with speech or family or values, food, resources, and also financial matters will come into limelight. So something needs adjusting. There is some kind of a little issue that needs to be solved in all these areas, and Mars and Mercury coming here, it brings a lot of attention and also practical situations or circumstances to deal with all these things a little more decisively. And also there is a lot of emotional weight for all these matters, especially that include family or other responsibilities related to family. So again, sun, although it is an obstructor, it carries the themes of 11th house themes such as gains, friendships, social networks, and also desires or fulfillment of desires. So sun in the second house, like second house, the house of grasp, aptitude, possession. So maybe we have this opportunity to kind of look or see whatever we desire finally, or maybe accomplish our desires to finally after a long time. So there has been a little bit of a challenging time with the sun in the first house in its sign of debilitation. So here it's like the effort and the reward, it kind of slowly starts showing. So and also there will be kind of moving forward, because with Mars, Sun in the second house, there is an opportunity for us to immediately think about what next in a very serious manner, and not really kind of fixed or remain focused on the past or something that we have already achieved or done. So, and also sustenance of second house matters. So maybe we have something, we have enough money, or we have enough resources, but again sustaining is another challenge. So sustaining is something that we need to work on during this time. And it will be important to kind of intensify the idea of sustenance around the matters related to family and finance. So second house is grass position. So hold on to your family and finance at this point and avoid any unnecessary expenses. Try to feel motivated to earn more, or maybe try to make some avenues to earn more. Try to save more. So this will be a very productive transit if we are trying to use this energy very wisely, especially in terms of family and finance, because Mars in the second house gives this determination, and Mars also rules the seventh house. So you can kind of get in touch with your spouse and come into this close uh, relationship where you can, make some family related decisions together. So it is very helpful to act with clarity rather than impulse, because Mars in the second house can indicate impulse. But with if we have someone else to deal with or help us, I think things will be more direct. So again, 12th lord in the second house retrograde, some kind of old hospital expenses might come up again. So it will be important for you to take care of yourself, take care of your eyes. Netra bhava is the second house. So it's important that you take care of things. And also, like, adjustments are always needed within the family. So because of this angles from the nodes, so some kind of adjustment or recalibration is needed in terms of family, emotional, or financial setup. Maybe you can rethink your investment decisions. Don't not necessarily kind of do a new investment, but try to rethink your portfolio, or try to rethink your savings or something like that. Maybe reorganize your spending, and surely cut some spending. Now is a good time to kind of think about cutting some spending. And it's important to clarify some of these things to your family as well, not in a dominating way, but in terms of being very honest, and also being a little bit open in terms of where everyone needs to contribute and where everyone needs to cut. So there needs to be some kind of proper planning as well. So Sun as Badak for Libra, will Mars break through and beneficially or negatively? It depends, right? So that's why I'm saying, so we need to think very carefully. No need to invest in anything. It's Mars rules the seventh house, and also Mars is the second house of family, and with the sun as Badak, so there is going to be light thrown on the family matters, and difficulties will come to the limelight. So you can see it as a negative thing where difficulties come to the limelight, but it is also an opportunity to kind of rectify all those things, be it family matters or financial matters. If there is something challenging, or if you are spending too much in some one particular area, you can just try to cut down that, and that is a negative thing which actually results in positive thing. So obstructor is here for us to see something so that we remove that obstruction. So it's there. You have this 1 month opportunity or window to look at what really is happening and then kind of course correct. So I think that's uh, it's a neutral transit. It starts with a little bit of a challenge and ends in a reasonably better way.
Okay, great. Ashwin, and the one who has asked this question of Badhaka, you must understand Badhak planets are seen and they are obstructions only when it is about the health that you are looking at. So when we talk about Badhaka and Maraka, two of these are coming together. So this is not that great a combination for your health. You have to be careful about what you speak, what you say, what about your eating habits. You have to take care of your lower abdominal region because it's a reverse chart of the natural Kalpurusha. So when we talk about the Badhak and Maraka combination with Sun and Mars together, it can be little volatile energy in your chart. You might just have some issues because of your speech. You might just have land up into losing money. And also it is not that great for relationship. It can lead to the divorce if at all you are on the verge of a divorce or a separation. So we have to see all of that. You might just confront inheritance. There can be some problem in legacies with this combination only. But when we talk about Badhaka, we must understand that that is going to cause some health issues. Only Badhaka's rule is that. Not that it is going to obstruct you somewhere else or any other aspect of life. It is dependent on your personal chart. If you are in the dasha of Mars only, suppose. So Mars is a Marrakesh, for pure Marrakesh. So Marrakesh means a death inflicting planet. That means your situation will get so bad that you're not able to deal with it. But at the same time, we have to see who is the saving grace. Saturn is a saving grace for you, because Saturn is your yoga karagraha. It is in trine to this, so it will protect. So you don't have to worry about anything. You have to just manage your family voice. You have to take care of your eating habits during this time. And also, you can clarify your, how you value yourself. Watch your speech, revisit your budget. And also it is going to be in, sun is going to be in 3 nakshatras also. And Venus, your Lagnesh, will also be transiting here. So that is a big time saving grace. Before to this, it was saving. Why? Because it was with Venus, it was forming a niche banga for you. So you have been having very good rapport with your seniors and bosses. Some major changes must have taken place. So very good transit then and now also, because it's a balancing factor. When 2 negative energies come to force, it is going to balance it out. Also, when sun is going to be in Vishakha Nakshatra, it is going to be branching your income. You will see and look at the avenues, bigger and better avenues, till the 20th November, from 6th November to the 20th November, Vishakha transit. And then it moves into Anuradha. Again, it's a beautiful transit for you, because this will be the time when you will value alliances. You might just expand your business proposal that you're getting. Then it is going to be with the with Mercury. It is in Mercury's nakshatra, Jyeshtha. Jyeshtha is going to give you that senior financial authority. You might just connect with somebody who's going to give you that, that you can make money out of money. You can do this, you can do that. Some experts, some influential people you'll be connecting during that time. And that is from the 3rd December till the 16th December. So it is a positive transit for you. Nothing to worry. Just mind your speech. Don't doubt yourself, because this might give you that doubt feeling as well, with Ketu in the 11th house, which is also minus plus right now with Badaka Sthana. A malefic planet there will save you, will protect you. You will work out, you will look good, you will work on your social circle also now. You don't want no nonsense kind of friendships you will have. Okay, so it's a good transit for you, I would say. Coming to the next one quickly, to Scorpio.
Yeah. I think Scorpio, the Lord of the rising sign in the first house. So I think we cannot expect anything better, right? So, but the thing is that there is the Lord of the 8th house is also transiting the first house. So again, the self-doubt themes is coming in. But on the other hand, there is also scope to kind of dive deep into the 8th house matters. Like if you're looking for insurance or something like that, or if you are trying to plan something for a long-term future, I think now is a very good time. So Mars there, I think naturally energy is there. So intensity is good. Clarity is there. Sun, the Lord of the 10th house, coming to the first house brings a lot of clarity. And there is a visible change, and you are also gaining visibility because the 10th Lord in the first house. So you're pretty much standing at the turning point where, stepping into this more clear-cut period in terms of, overall scheme of this entire year. So themes of career, reputation, work-related responsibilities or authority, and also general life direction, 10th house life direction. So in which your life moves publicly. So all this comes into forefront, and first house becomes, it indicates that your actions, 10th house is action, and your actions, Mars is also the significator of action, and Sun is visibility. So your action or effort will be visible now. People will start noticing you. Your choices will matter more. People will suddenly kind of respect you, and but somewhere professional themes will become personal. Like there will be some kind of burden because the 8th ruler Mercury is also sitting there. But on the other hand, Mercury is going to help you make some really good decisions, because besides ruling the 8th house, Mercury is also the lord of analytics and logic. So Mercury is going to help in that regard, but you'll feel the pressure, um, something is kind of slightly sitting on you. So there is going to be some kind of influence, and it might a little bit question, or maybe you question yourself about your identity or the way you present yourself. But I think Mars and Scorpio is continuing to strengthen your confidence, and there is a lot of determination, clarity, and willingness kind of move away from what no longer is serving your path. So assertiveness is naturally there, but there is a little bit of impatience with Mercury also indicates impatience. Sun can indicate authority, and Mars can indicate impatience. So situations, if they hold you back, you need to be sure that sometimes holding back is also important, and you don't need to run at all the time. So just trust this reasonably good transit, especially in terms of career and life direction. Communication becomes very sharp. Jupiter is, although Jupiter is retrograde, it is very dignified and is aspecting the rising sign. So there is good confidence. So the motive is very good. It's free flowing. So you can speak with conviction. You can also negotiate things. And now is the good time to negotiate as well with Mercury retrograde. Communication need clarity, but if some kind of negotiation needs a lot of sittings, now is a good time to do. If any negotiation needs only one sitting, maybe it's not a good time to do. But anyway, it is good to dive deep. It's an excellent period in many ways. And Mercury kind of helps to be thoughtful and strategic about all these things, and Mars is fueling energy and turning things more personal. So it is affecting your image, your choices, your overall behavior, and health as well. So with Mars is the ruler of the sixth house, so we may be pushed and motivated to move forward, but we have to also take care of our health, especially after Venus's entry into Scorpio, because Venus is the seventh and the 12th lord, again Maraka. So that is sometimes where we need to kind of slightly focus on our health and be very careful about how much we work or how much we do things for others. So approaching work and redefining your identity, it is one of the important periods. It's a firm period. It is a decisive period. There is a lot of responsibilities that is being entrusted upon you, but you need to push yourself because you have the sincerity. And even though there is not a lot of convenience, I think sincerity is there. Career matters will reach, a place where you will be somewhere satisfied, and also you might step into a new role. There is some chance for that as well. So yeah, I think overall it's a good transit. Balance your out and in, and now is the time for you to act and move forward with clarity.
Okay, thanks, Ashwin. Yes, Sun in the first house is about ego also, your self-respect. You'd be more concerned about that. Sun is in the exalted form here because it exalts in the first house of the natural zodiac, but it's conjunct the sixth lord. So servitude attitude, the more you worry and do for others and be giving, the better you get. Your health also will get better. Sun in the first house leads to headaches, and it is because there is a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure you have to deal with at the workplace, because it is with Mars, the Lagnesh. That means efforts only will be, your growth is directly proportional to your effort. So you have to put a lot of effort. You have to be working on your self-invention, also reinvention, in fact, and you will have a public face. You will be recognized, as Ashwin rightly said. Mars will give you ambition also, and communication edge is given by Mercury there. Mercury is retrograde, so just be careful about what you speak. Before speaking, you have to think. But power must be tempered, and Sun in Scorpio demands modesty also. And lead but serve. That is the key. And intensity balanced by clarity wins. Also, people are having troubles at the workplace in career, because there's a question also. It's because Ketu is there in the 10th house. And also remember that whenever you're going through some issue in the career, your Saturn plays a very important role. So you see in your chart, Saturn must be afflicted by some graha. Rahu being in the Saturn sign is also causing a lot of issues at the workplace. Your actually expectations grow, and the bosses also, they are becoming very demanding. So there has to be a balance if you really want to do well. And also, get into the start things from scratch. Ketu is there means you have to start from the beginning. So if you want to start a relationship at workplace, also a good relationship, a rapport with people, so you can do it when Ketu is in the 10th house. That is a remedy also for you. You can offer sweets, you can start things from scratch, you can discuss with your co-workers and your subordinates and your bosses. You can give your ideas away, and then just take the decision. So you can't be a sole person. You have to work with the team, you have to take everybody together. So that is something with the career part you can really manage, and you can really do well. And identity, health, and presence is the key. Okay, coming to the next one, that is Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius, again, Sun enters Scorpio, which is basically activating the 12th house. And uh, for Sagittarius, the Sun rules the 9th house. So it's important for you to take care of your father or paternal matters. So that needs attention. Father's health needs attention. And also, it's good if you want to spend some time with your father, escaping from the chaos. So this is basically, 12th house, the house of rest and retreat. So it's the house of subconscious, but also it is the house of expenses. So be careful about the expenses, and be very mindful of your private life. And maybe it's good to stay away from social media if you're too active on social media. And all these things are moving through the bendings. That is from the angles from Rahu and Ketu. And if third and the 12th house, along with the 9th house, and everything is active, it indicates that you need some inner cleansing or clearing or an emotional reset. There is a lot of burden that is going on, especially with Jupiter also in the 8th house. So spending time for yourself is more important. Try, maybe if you're not having a family, or if you're single, maybe it's good to kind of go on a solo trip or something like that. It's a good period now. And ruling the 9th house of belief, spirituality, faith, father, and also mentorship, guiding principles, everything is now Sun placed in the 12th house. So insight directly comes from solitude or isolation. So if you have silenced or isolated yourself, or if you are spending time in solitude, it's actually good for you. Embrace it, enjoy it, and try to kind of be a little more spiritual. Have a spiritual practice for yourself, however small time it may be it 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's good to kind of offer water to your ancestors, especially with so much of intensity that's going on in Scorpio. So any spiritual practice is going to help you move forward, rather than move forward but still stepping back from the noise to understand what really matters. This internal transformation is a lot more important. And for Sagittarius natives, Scorpio being the 12th house is going to be about internal matters. But on the other hand, health is very important. Expenses need to be on check. Hospitalization expenses are possible. So, and also some kind of frustrating memories will come back. So maybe there is some hurt and which needs healing, and there is some disturbance, and emotional clutter is very important. And Mars there is going to help you deal with all this emotional clutter. So the moment you kind of deal with and process and throw away whatever the emotional memories that you're having as a burden, if they go out, suddenly things will kind of, new things will come in, new insights will come in. And that is when you will be ready for the period when Sun actually enters Sagittarius, the 9th lord in the first house, which will be a much brighter period. But now it's about a quiet period where there is a lot of self-reflection, because Mercury is going to add that reflection as the lord of the 7th house, and the 10th house. And also relationships, if you are in relationships, there is chances for challenges or disconnect in relationships, and there may be some kind of a need for realignment, because the 7th lord is placed in the 12th house. So there is a fear that something is happening bad or something is not good, and all this is pushing you towards a corner. But I think overall you need to kind of open your eyes and deal with the problem in front of you, rather than thinking about uncontrollable. So there is nothing that we can do. So Sagittarius people, I think, uh, they feel like they need a long vacation to a peaceful place, but all we get is probably a 5-10 minute time in a balcony, and that is what. And you need to enjoy this 5 or 10 minutes, and that 5 or 10 minutes will give clarity. But overall, rest, release, and maybe reset as well. So take care of your health and emotions.
Thanks, Ashwin. It was wonderful. Yes, 12th house energy is about taking some rest, some time out for yourself also. Don't be flamboyant. Don't spend on gadgets more and less screen time. This is what I can say. And also, it is good for any kind of foreign visits. If you want to leave your country and settle abroad, this is a very good time period. Working abroad is also quite likely, but you have to be a little careful because Mercury is retrograde. So traveling might just give you some delays, and it might just be a little difficult for you to get the visa, etc. Also, maybe, to the country you're traveling to. So it can be some kind of glitch and some kind of issue that you can go through over there. And also, recharge quietly. Strategic withdrawal wins more than visible action. Sun in the 12th house is considered to be a little less powerful because it is losing the potency to give the results. It's the house of Jupiter also. So Sun cannot be a guru. Sun needs someone else to give him that kind of that kind of advice. Sun is the one who will make decisions, will be at authority, at power. Sun is also aggressive, and this is also break in agreement because maybe your partner, your relationship, it can break. You can have some chest pain, stomach pain, fever, unwanted expenditures. Father may have some health issues also. Some unethical behavior is also there because it's in the last house, or it's a house where it's a house of loss. So the Bhagya Lord is in the 12th house, so it is like loss of your behavior. So good ethics, that is also quite evident. And charitable, of course, might just increase. You can be overly charitable during this time. So that is also, you have to keep a constant check on. And also, it is going to be transiting 3 nakshatras, Vishakha till the 20th of November. Then we have Anuradha till the 3rd of December, from 20th November to 3rd of December. So that is the time when, service unions abroad and overseas splits, you can go to some overseas places. And from 3rd December to 16th December is going to be in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, is going to be in Gandanta zone also. So that is where hidden power structure. And you can maybe, travel if you want to, and there can be some kind of connectivity with the overseas people also. So I need to leave, guys. Ashwin will continue doing the readings. The chart will I'm just putting it on the auto mode. So as you will say, Ashwin, suppose Capricorn, so it'll change. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thankfully, maybe. I'm not too sure. Let's see how it works.
But
Okay,
it's okay.
take
If
care.
it doesn't come up, I can take care. No issues.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
So moving on to Capricorn. So Capricorn is like the most meticulous sign of the zodiac. And Sun enters Scorpio and it activates the 11th house. So for Capricorn, Sun rules the 8th house. And this naturally kind of brings in some kind of challenges or transformative experiences, losses, obstacles, hindrances, all unexpected. So its 8th house deals with things that we don't like. So this is and 8th house Lord is coming into the 11th house, and this is the space of gains, friendships, networks, supportive communities. Sometimes fulfillment of desires or long-term goals. And the good thing is that Sun, as the natural partial malefic planet, always does well in the 11th house. So Sun does well in 3, 6, 10, and 11. Sun is placed in the 11th house, but 11th house is also the house of obstruction or badaka. So there is a lot of neutralizing, or something that is good and something that is bad, something that is good, something that is bad. So it's a very confusing and stiffy, challenging period here. But overall, the future direction, your friendships and your ambitions are turning out to be very important, because Sun in the 11th house it kind of brings light to all these topics. So even though the speed might be a little slow and there will be a few hindrances, I think we exactly know what we need to do or where we need to go, and that is a good thing. And Saturn is sitting in the third house. The Lord of the rising sign is sitting in the third house, and it is trining the sun, which indicates that there is enough resources or vision to move, but it's taking a little more time. So eighth house is shared resources or other people's resources, and also emotional, deeper emotional bonds, taxes, inheritances, and psychological patterns that are related to your goals, and also desires and friendships, because 11th house is related to desires and friendships. So it also indicates elder siblings. So there might be some kind of give and take or challenges with the elder siblings. So deal with it a little slightly, tactfully. Don't be over aggressive in dealing with those things. So maybe you're thinking about long term sustainability of whatever you are doing, and maybe there are some kind of setups that you have, that you have structured and that need some alterations, and that is affecting you emotionally, or financial commitments that are tied to what you want to achieve is bothering you a little bit or kind of slowing you down. But all these things are kind of propelled by a very strong Mars in the 11th house, which also is the Badhaka. So again, health becomes a primary theme, and it's 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 very, very important to kind of take care of your health. There is a little bit of a draining energy that goes on because of this Sun Mars relationship in the 11th house, in the house of obstruction. So if someone supports your growth, good, you can value them. But if something is kind of turning out to be an unnecessary noise or obstruction, so criticism is good, you can welcome criticism, but you don't need to just welcome criticism for the sake of it. So you can filter what you need to kind of take in and what you don't need to. And Mercury, the Lord of the sixth and the ninth house. Sixth house is daily routine. What we do to kind of live. It's the sixth house, second Artha Kona, so it indicates planning. Mercury indicates planning. It is coordination and analysis, dealing with logic. So having conversations with friends and building social circles for the benefit of our collaborations or shared goals or finances or something that might help us in the future will always kind of be a good thing. And networking is important. Maybe it is networking is important only if you have clarity of what you need to do and whom you need to approach. You cannot just keep sending emails to everyone and say that it is a strategic approach or something. So be sure whom to kind of reach out in case you want to communicate to someone in the social circle, and just don't kind of reach out to everyone because of the prominence of the 11th house. So the a turning point will occur in very slightly in terms of hopes. Something that needs realignment, you will be able to fix it, and that will give you some kind of hope and good confidence. And taking on new responsibilities is also a good thing. It will help you kind of refine your goals. And Venus is now currently transiting your 10th house, so scope for your career or shift, expecting something out of your career is good, but to see what kind of comes out of career in terms of long term, I think that needs more chart analysis. But overall, for a 2 week period, I think a career is reasonably okay, with Venus very strong in the 10th house of Libra. Venus is the yoga karaka, and then Venus will again move into the 11th house. By house it is good, by dignity Venus does not have much dignity in the 11th house. So there will be kind of visibility, but again there will be slow, or we will be circumspect about what we need to do and whom we need to trust. So I think it is okay to give yourself some time and deal with things reasonably in a slowly and a structured manner, because Capricorn works well with long-term commitments and a structured approach, and that is what you need to have. So if you don't have a calendar, set up your calendar. If something is bothering you, just write down the pros and cons of your plans or whatever it is, and then approach with it rationally and make a decision. So, and also 11th house deals with money or gains. So budgeting is very important. Like make sure that you don't you know park money somewhere where you don't need to park, and also giving money to friends or something like that can bring about a little bit of a dent in your financial situation. But overall, I think with Saturn retrograde, there is a lot of uh, recalibration that is naturally happening, and I think Sun, Mars, and Mercury in the 11th house will fuel your desires and push yourself. But I think it is okay to be slow, because there is some kind of clarity that is emerging and action is slowly kind of taking place. Aquarius rising, seventh lord in the 10th house, right? So Sun enters Scorpio, and it is activating your 10th house. So which means the 10th house in the matters of career and profession comes to the limelight. So this is where you deal with career, you deal with reputation, you deal with authority, work related matters. And 10th house is also about public life or general direction we take in life. It is very, very active now. Seventh lord in the 10th house, partnerships or clients or agreements, all of these things will come into forefront. And professional matters will require cooperation, because Mars is also placed, the retrograde Mercury is placed there. So, and Mercury is the eighth lord. So do not try to be dominant, because Sun is placed there and there is tendency to be dominant. Mars is there, there is tendency to be harsh. I mean, assertive, but sometimes for other people who receive it might actually go out to be harsh. So make sure that you are very careful about how you approach and communicate to other people. And partnership may influence your decisions, and sometimes client relationships become more active. Seventh house, other people dealing with clients, collaborators, it will become more active, and sometimes they may play an important role in your direction. So be open and embrace what comes your way, and see what happens. Mars is in the 10th house. Still, it's in the 10th house. There is a lot of ambition, drive, desire to assert yourself, and you may kind of take on more responsibilities. Third house, taking on more responsibilities will indicate that you need to kind of work more harder, put in a lot more effort than you imagined. So be sure about how much you take, and be sure that you promise only what you can fulfill. So being impatient with your work related situations is also one of those challenges that you might face. So try to be mindful about that, and don't expect very quick growth. It may not happen. And Mars in the 10th house naturally wants progress, but eighth lord in the 10th house kind of sometimes slows down the progress, and it is a natural thing. But still, action is there. You kind of y- you will be pushed to confront issues that you have ignored, or if you have faced some challenges in the workplace, you might kind of go ahead and confront those people, and all those things may not work in your favor. Just be patient at this point, especially with authority figures, because Sun is there in the 10th house. If you kind of have conflicts with authority figures, they are not going to support you. If you don't like something, it's okay to be kind of silent. It doesn't mean that you're kind of agreeing with them. It just means that you're dealing with tact and little bit of brain. So it's good. So Mercury brings a little bit of thought process, analysis, and also communication to all this. So make sure that you strategize your communication. It is better you actually write something to someone, sit, write, make sure that it is good, rather than engaging in open talk or unplanned talk. So that will be very helpful for you. And you know, in some way, I think there is a little bit of a decisiveness that you need in your career. It may redefine your path. There will be some kind of new responsibility as well. So you may need to kind of adjust the way you work with others, and that's what also is indicated by the seventh lord. Seventh lord, others. So 10th house. So your work people or people at work, you need to adjust your approach or the way you work with others, and especially your superiors who kind of dictate what you need to do at work. So overall, I think it's a reasonably good period. So finance is always going to be there. A lot of the first house is placed in the second house. The planning of finance is a long-term process here, and Sun, Trine, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, Trine, Sun, Mercury, and Mars is going to kind of propel and push more avenues or opportunities for us to understand the financial setup on all those things. So it will be a complementary period for us. and try to kind of don't second guess yourself, but it is okay to slow down. Be open yourself up to lot of visibility and authority. You'll get chances to lead somewhere, especially at workplace, and you'll have opportunity to make important decisions. Sun will bring clarity, Mars will bring courage, Mercury will bring precision and rational. So all this will help you reshape your career direction with confidence, and the 1 month is going to be a reasonably substantial and successful period for you, Aquarius rising natives. And Pisces rising, uh, uh, Sun enters Scorpio and it's the ninth house. Ninth house is the house of father, and Mars and Mercury are also placed there. Straight away, it indicates there is some kind of learning, but also you need to make sure that you need to take care of your father. So, as much as learning or opportunities for learning or connectivities with teachers or mentors or superiors is there is a tendency to kind of feel annoyed or irritated by all those things because of Mars and Mercury retrograde. So, but still, Sun gives opportunities and throws ideas and awareness and consciousness about the ninth house matters, the expanded understanding, and this perspective to think deep is always there. So, Sun ruling your sixth house is all about daily routines, discipline, service, health primarily. So, health, ninth house. Father's health requires a lot of attention, and also the responsibilities that kind of keep us functioning in our life, which is also ruled by the sixth house. So, practical responsibilities will kind of be whether or not all these practical matters that we do in our life is in alignment with our regular principle that we are as human beings or our own ideals or belief systems. So all these will meet with what is required from us is a question at this point. So there will be a chance for us to reflect on the purpose behind why you work, or you may seek guidance from elders or mentors or whoever it may be. But the thing is, you need to be open about it. You don't need to be judgmental about what they say. You can just take whatever ideas or advice or philosophical or spiritual experience that they share with you. It may or may not help you immediately, but don't be judgmental or don't be annoyed about what they say. Sometimes people don't say necessarily what we need or what we want to hear, but what they say sometimes may help in the future. So just be receptive to ideas, try to process those ideas and make a decision yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to fully base your decision on those people. So Mars in the ninth house bring some kind of passion to learning, because um, ninth house is all about higher learning. So there is a desire as well, exploring new ideas, defending your belief systems very strongly with intensity. That is Mars. And communication again needs to be very careful, because it's Mars is also the lord of the second house. As much as it is the yoga karaka, it is the lord of the second house, and it is conjunct Mercury. So maybe communication will be a little harsh, very very unlike Pisces people, but still it is important for you to stick to who you are and make sure that you don't communicate something very rashly. Think more than once before you say something. Try to analyze, feed your curiosity and have your desire, but understand your desire and why you need it and how much time you have to kind of pursue on all those things. So it's a good time for research, higher learning, writing or teaching as well. Ninth house is active. So it's important to engage in important conversations about travel is very much possible, for work related travel or spiritual travel, or all these things are very much possible, or even education. So if you've been considering to kind of move or something related to education, you can make plans for all those things. So somehow there is this uh, the bending that we are talking about, Rahu and Ketu in your 12th house and the 6th house. So it signals a turning point in our daily routines and habits because of this ninth house activation. So it is kind of opening up our worldview. Belief may change. Mentors may play a key role at some point, even if it is not immediately. Their ideas might help you. Some kind of knowledge might necessarily turn your direction, and you'll feel the need to kind of realign your philosophy towards life. So And all this shift will be very practical because Sun is the lord of the sixth house. And again, sixth house in the ninth house, again, I'm very too much emphasis on this, is that take care of your father and father's health, and just deal with life and expect some kind of an enlightenment, and do not postpone anything until you have that enlightenment, because enlightenment is a result of progress and the process. So be open for all the insights that you're going to get, the learning that you're having, and the opportunities to recalibrate, because Mars is adding a lot of fire, and Mercury is adding a lot of clarity, and I think there is a lot of opportunity to kind of deeply understand about yourself and your belief systems, and more importantly your daily routines. So overall, I think it's a decent period for Pisces natives, and I hope everyone has a very, very good Scorpio season with Sun in Scorpio. May the Scorpio Sun fill you with transformative experiences that are positive and helping in your long-term life direction. So on behalf of Vanita ji, I wish you all a good, happy Scorpio season, and take care, everyone. And we'll see you together in December's ingress. Thank you so much, and take care.